Hello Planning Mashers and welcome back to the channel and yet another Plan With Me video. This time we're setting up November and I know I'm a little bit late, but I hope you still have fun with this video and like the theme I chose. And if you're new here, my name is Masha and I'm creating videos on bullet journaling, doodling, creativity, so be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you always know when I release a new video. Okay, let's get planning. Okay, so we are starting from the supplies. Here is my beautiful square journal in cover. And I have my Faber-Castell Pitt Artist brush pens and Faber-Castell Pitt Artist fine liners. So this whole theme is all about using my Faber-Castell pens. Now, before we dive in, I wanted to mention something. So I know that this theme might look like it was inspired by Plants That Blossom on Instagram, because she has amazing doodles and she actually also uses a lot of Faber-Castell products. And I just want to mention that even though this particular theme was not directly inspired by her, I generally love her style. I follow her a lot and she is always my inspiration. So I will leave her handle in the description. Definitely check her out. Her doodles are super cute and she's just such a talented artist. Okay, while I was saying that, we are almost done with my quote, which is the way I've been starting all my monthly setups in this journal. And I guess it's time to talk a little bit about the theme. So the theme is baking, but I also decided to make it kind of monochromatic. So on each page, I will be coloring just some parts of the doodles and I will be using the same color. So in the quote page, it's a little bit different because I used 3 very similar colors, but you'll see on the other pages, each page is going to have just one color. I finished this setup on like November the 1st, so I kind of wanted to use coloring style that would allow me to kind of speed up the process but also would look nice. So I'm actually very happy with this effect. Okay, so for my cover page, I'm doing a bunch of baking, cooking kind of related things. And I also added some fall stuff since obviously November is the last month of the fall. And I haven't actually had a full-on fall theme for quite some time. So I just added here some fall leaves and a pumpkin. Enough to kind of create an atmosphere, but without stealing the show from all those baking doodles. And speaking of the baking doodles, if you guys want me to do like a doodle with me of all the stuff that I will be using during this setup, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to film one. For the font for this monthly setup, I really decided to go for something like super simple. I didn't really have a lot of time because, as I mentioned before, I started and finished that setup on the 1st of November. So I was a little bit in a hurry to just get on with it and start using those pages. So yeah, the font is pretty basic, but I'm kind of happy the way it is, so it doesn't really steal a lot from the doodles themselves. Another thing I did here is I took my thicker fine liner and I'm actually outlining the whole composition. It kind of helps for it to pop, and it's just a fun effect that I like doing, and I felt like it looks really good with this style of doodles. You'll see me doing that all the time throughout this setup. Okay, so for my monthly log, I went with a pretty basic calendar view. It's kind of the same I have been doing for the last few months, and honestly, I'm just so happy with it. It's absolutely perfect. It's everything I need, and it also gives me enough space underneath to write if I need something else to write. So this page's color is green. So obviously the letters are going to be green and the doodles on the corner will also be green. But I noticed that this green is kind of very light. So I decided to go and to add like some shadow with my black fine liner just to make it like stand out a little bit more. So I wonder what kind of themes you guys did for November. Let me know in the comments because it actually took me forever to figure out what exactly I wanted to do for the month. There was just like so many options, and I really felt like I'm a little bit unmotivated and a little bit maybe lazy. So I kind of wanted to create a theme that would like inspire me, but also would be pretty easy to set up. And eventually, that's what I chose, and I'm pretty happy with that because, yeah, I had a lot of fun setting this up. I'm very excited and looking forward to creating all those weeklies. But at the same time, it was not a very difficult theme to do, and I am just loving so much that monochromatic effect with the colors, because usually colors is something I struggle because I don't always know how to match them perfectly, and like then I worry that some colors are more often than the others. But with this, no worries whatsoever. It's just so perfect. Let me know in the comments what theme you did and if you ever actually did like a monochromatic theme like this one. Okay, so my next page is kind of a mishmash of everything. So I started with obviously the 3 boxes for 3 big things I have at the moment, which is my blog, my YouTube channel, and my shop. And I know I haven't been on YouTube for a while, but that's because I am working on something different, which I'm sure you're gonna love, and I can't wait to share. But it's a little bit too early right now. And yeah, so the rest of the page is kind of empty. I'm not gonna fill it out with anything, but it's kind of to set my goals, to maybe do a brain dump. I kind of let myself just have the space to write any thoughts or ideas or like whatever I have in my head. I felt like I don't really want to limit myself because I know I did like the goals page at a certain point and I didn't end up using it much. I also had a brain dump and then I used it a little bit but didn't really fill out the entire page. So here I decided I'm just gonna have empty space and see what exactly I need as the month goes. Okay, so for my habit and mood tracker, I went far and beyond. I actually doodled 30 different baking themed doodles. Okay, to be honest, I did repeat some of them, but nonetheless, this really took quite some time. But I must say, I'm super, super happy with the result because it looks pretty cute and I can fill it out in the same kind of way with just coloring little details instead of coloring like the whole doodle like I do with all the pages. So that kind of ended up being totally worth it. And as for my habit tracker is pretty much the same as last month. It's just the best format that works for me. So why would I change it, right? And so I am very proud to say that so far I've been doing very well on my habits, especially on drinking. So I know water is usually the tracker that never gets filled out, but this month I'm forcing myself to be more mindful, to think more about those things. And yeah, so far I've been doing really great. And it's just a page that makes me very, very happy. So I'm glad that I decided to fill it out with doodles instead of just making maybe like a bar with different colors for the mood tracker because it makes it so much more fun and creative. There is a little something I added here to make the doodles pop a little bit more. Instead of outlining them in a thicker pan, I just use my light gray brush pen to add shadows to them all. It's not something that is very well seen, to be honest, but somehow it gives a little effect of a doodle kind of popping a little bit more. It's an effect that I really enjoy. So I really like doing this effect even if it's not like super obvious. Of course, I had to make a gratitude log. And I must say that usually it's something I struggle a little bit with. I never really managed to fill out my gratitude log completely. But again, I mentioned that this month I'm really working on myself, I'm working on my habits. So I actually made this a priority to sit down every evening and fill out my gratitude log. So far, I've been doing pretty well. And I feel like it's really helping me just like with my general mental health and just enjoy the days much more than I did before it. Which is it's kind of silly, isn't it? Because I knew it's going to help me, but I still didn't do it all the time like I should have. But oh well, Such is the human nature, right? I hope you like this setup, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep bullet journaling and don't be a blob. Bye!